Hey, what's up, family? So, I'm heading home. I had to run out to the store and grab this little guy right here. This is a Thunderbolt to Firewire adapter. Yeah. So I had to grab this little guy from my local electronics and computer store. What's up, Courtney? Thanks for hanging out, brother. And the reason why I had to grab that, some of you all might have seen the message, some of you all might not have. Hey, Leslie, thanks for hanging out. That about a week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks now. 2 weeks ago, I was in the midst of releasing Key Reflections, my newest piano project. And I finished all the music, did all the mixes, and everything was done. I was getting ready to release it. Then I had an idea to record an intro. So I decided to record this intro, and everything was going well. I had a great intro, a great idea. Everything was going well. And right when I hit the finalize button for the last song to be exported, the computer went kerplunk. And, maybe not kerplunk. It was more like, it froze up on me, and then it went off, and it hasn't come back on since. So, and I was right at the end of the album. Last song. So, that put me out of commission for at least a week or so, because I haven't been able to get the computer fixed. But I have another computer, and I've been able to be up and running on that. And the only fortunate thing about the situation that allows me to not have to start all over is that I saved the files to a folder that I'm able to pull up on my other computer. And the only thing that I was missing is the intro that I just recorded. So with that, I'm in the process of recording that now. And that's why I had to come and get that piece, because that piece that you all just saw is a lifesaver for me, because I thought my whole operation was going to be down, because it's a different computer, has different kind of connections and all that jazz. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for hanging out with a brother. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope the Tuesday is going well thus far. So I want to talk for a few to take you all on the journey of what I'm about to do, and to tell you what I'm about to record, how this whole album came about, just to give you some insight on the journey. So I'm getting ready to record an intro for the album. Right when I was finalized the album, I had an idea. I can't wait for you all to see the liner notes, and I'm gonna actually repost it online. Hey, Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry, you are really in my thoughts, brother, with everything. I want you to know that. And I really hope things turn out well. So, right when I was finalizing the liner notes on the inside, I decided that I wanted to actually read the liner notes on the album. And I decided to make it the first song on the album. And so that song is going to be entitled Sincerity from the Heart Intro. Now, I recorded about 1 minute and 30 second, minute and 30 second version as the intro for the album, but I'm actually going to go back and re-record it as a full song. I can't wait for you all to hear this, though, because it's really my heartfelt dedication to you with this album. It's not just the piano on the album that's my dedication to you. I mean, that would be the obvious. It's actually my words and really where this comes from in my heart. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to re-record that right now, and that won't take me but maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes to record. and then the album is done. The funny part was I could have put out the album without that intro, but the intro, the words of the intro is so heartfelt for me that I was like, I just can't let this go without really sharing with the people how I feel, from my heart, and why I'm so honored that for everybody that listens to this album, why I'm so honored for you to join me in that particular space, that real vulnerable to the heart space, for me, which is solo piano. So yeah, that's one part of the equation. And so with that, once I finish, in about 2 hours, I'm then going to upload the album, and it will be available through my website at aaronhilltv.com. All you have to do is click on the music tab. It'll be available at aaronhilltv.com. Click on the music tab, and it'll take you to my music page, and you'll see it. So the name of the album is called Key Reflections. The name of the album is called Key Reflections. And conceptually, I came up with the album, I want to say about a year ago, because I realized this is volume 1, and I realized this would definitely be one volume of, several in this series. So Key Reflections Volume 1 was birthed out of just my, I guess you could say, going back to my foundation as far as understanding as a musician what's my most special or sacred time. Like what's the most significant time for me when it comes to making music. And there's a few different scenarios that I really enjoy. I love playing with a band. I love trio particularly. I love the conversation with trio. Hey Jarrell, thanks for watching. Hey Don, thanks for hanging out. But in addition to trio and playing with quartets and quintets, and I love all musical situations. One of the musical situations that's most special to me is solo piano, and this is what I mentioned in the intro, the sincerity intro. Solo piano is a very vulnerable, and it's a very transparent place. It's just you and the instrument, and you don't have any other instruments to hide behind or to take the limelight. Like, it's literally all about you. And for me, that's something that's it really goes in the opposite direction of like my personality. I'm by nature an introvert, and I'm not a person that really likes a lot of attention or seeks a lot of attention. A lot of people really find it interesting that I say I'm an introvert because, on social media, it doesn't seem like I'm an introvert. Most people are like, you're always out there. You're always putting your stuff out there and everything. But here's the funny part, and I'll be telling this over and over, because there'll be many people that won't get a chance to hear it and happen to hear it in one video one day. Like, the funny thing is I'm an introvert. The reason why I'm so extroverted on social media is because as an introvert, I'm very much a relational person. I'm deeply a relational person. I'm just not a person that I'm a person that can get what they call social anxiety off of being around like large crowds of people. I love people. It's just as an introvert, they say one of the characteristics is that you feel like you have to entertain the people that you're around, or hold up a particular like composure to be like socially acceptable or whatever. And for an introvert, that could be overwhelming. It is overwhelming. So I realized with social media, the reason why I'm so much of an extrovert is because I get the opportunity to do what I love most, which is build relationships with people, because I love people. And I get to do it in a mass format with a whole lot of people around me, like digitally, while I could be by myself physically at the same time. So it's a very interesting thing, you know. And of course, I still, in addition to that, love to hang out with people at events and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, I think y'all get the point. So, you know, solo piano is for an introvert, a person who doesn't really like attention and who doesn't like being the center of attention, is like really different. But what I realized over the years, the reason why it works for me and the reason why it doesn't bother me as an introvert is because I actually don't feel like the attention is on me. Like, everybody's listening to the music, and especially with where I am now as a musician, I'm like in that same place. I really feel like an observer more so than the conduit of the music. You know, even though the music is coming through me, like, because of my relationship with it and just where I am in my artistry, like, it's flowing through me. It's like I'm a vessel, I'm the conduit. So I feel like I'm just as much as an observer. So everybody's actually looking at the music and not at me. And so it doesn't, you know, it allows me to feel completely comfortable. But with that, you know, solo piano is just a really special place for me because I get a chance to flow and create the rules as I go, change the rules as I go. I get to say anything that I want to say musically at any time because I don't have anybody else to check in with musically, you know. It's not like you're playing with a bass player or a drummer. Hey, Andre. Hey, Will. Thank y'all for hanging out. Warren, thanks for hanging out. Edith, hello. Dr. Barry, Leslie, Courtney, everybody, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. So, yeah, playing solo piano is real interesting, and it's like the most freedom out of all the equations. It's the most freedom because you don't have anybody to check in with and to make agreements with. You know, so you have that creative freedom, and then the only agreements that you're really making is with the audience. And you have a lot of liberty because the audience is pretty much open to whatever you decide to say because they're listening to you. You know, they're listening to you have a monologue and then, you know, a dialogue as far as, you know, getting those ideas across to them and that kind of thing. So there's so much freedom there. And being a person that considers myself proudly a musical mutt, and when I say that, people go, "You're not a mutt. That's a bad. Like that's a bad." And I'm like, "Nah. Like I wear it proudly, actually, because what I'm really saying is that I've had the wonderful opportunity since the time I started music of participating in and studying like all the genres. I started off in hip hop as a hip hop MC and then producer, and then I got into teach myself how to read music and then studying classical, and then I studied soul music and R&B, and then I studied and played gospel for 10 years, and then I started studying, you know, modern jazz and then traditional jazz and fusion and rock and country. Like, you know, I wear that term proudly. And so when I play solo piano, I get a chance to go into like all these different genres, all these different moods, and then when you add like, in addition to all those different genres, when you add like just sound effects and soundscapes, like, you know, so it's a very meditative piece from a meditative place for me. It's a very significant and, as some would say, like sacred space, and it's very special to me. So I am super excited about sharing this Key Reflections album with you all. So here's the deal. The album will be out tonight. It will be on my website at aaronhilltv.com. Just click on the music tab, and you'll be able to purchase the album there or download it or stream it. And in a few days, I'll put up another message when it'll be available on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and that kind of thing. So you can definitely look out for that for those that use those services. And one of the things that I'm going to do, I was telling a buddy of mine yesterday. In fact, if you all get a chance, in the next 30 minutes, check out my podcast. It's an episode that I'm going to be putting up in the next 30 minutes. And it's a conversation with my buddy, Mel Crockett. Look out for him as well. He's a saxophone player, and he has an album called Butter that he just released, in fact. He just re-released. So we were having a conversation yesterday, and in this podcast that you all hear, I'm basically talking to him about how the whole music industry has changed, for artists and musicians. A lot has changed in the past 10 years, even since I was a young musician, a young hip-hop musician in the studio. So, with the change of the industry, artists and musicians have to really be creative when it comes to figuring out how to sustain ourselves and have a livelihood off of our music. We used to be able to sell tapes and CDs and be able to make out really well financially to keep our careers going, and bring you all continuous great music. But now it's tough because streaming is the greatest thing, and I say that as a person who has a subscription service and who uses streaming every day. It's the best thing that could have ever happened for us to be able to have music on demand. Because the most important thing, and I say this as an artist and musician, the most important thing for all of the artists out there, this is to you, the most important thing is that we are in the ears and the hearts and the minds of people. That's the most important thing. So the dilemma for many of us is if we want to add our music to streaming services, because we don't get paid as much through streaming services, but we do get more exposure. So I'm saying that to say one of the things that I'll be starting to say as I share my music and continuing is my goal isn't to try to make a livelihood off of album sales or singles and that kind of thing, because you can't with streaming. We get paid like a fifth of a cent, like 0.0002 cents for every stream. The goal is for that to add up over time, but you got to be a really, really major selling artist in order to make out. So a lot of artists and musicians are having a tough time. Well, what do we do? And so what I figured out for myself, and I'll be with this podcast, I'm sharing this info with everyone else who can use it as well. I want everybody to stream my music. If you don't have a streaming service, then of course you can use iTunes or Amazon, or you could go to my website and download the music. But if you have a streaming service, which most of us do, I want you to stream the music. What I'll be asking everyone to do is, if you stream it, if you don't purchase and you stream it, if you really enjoy the music, then if you would consider dropping a tip, for the efforts and that kind of thing. So, you could do that with PayPal, you could do that Cash App, you could do that Patreon, you could do that by purchasing the album or the same thing. But I figured that would be a good way for everybody to be able to stream, and for me to be able to maintain a livelihood to continue to bring the best content, that I could bring. And same thing for other artists. Just want to put it out there because I think it's a good formula to think about for other artists and musicians. But the album will be up tonight, Key Reflections, Volume 1. And I'm actually off to the races immediately after that, because this coming week I'll actually be recording album 2. This album has been in the works for a while, so I'm actually going to be recording my second version of this probably next week and actually putting that up for sale. The goal from now on will be to bring as much music as possible, and from there, for people to donate to my journey in order to allow me to bring more music, more videos, more quotes and good inspirational experiences and humor and all that kind of good jazz, right? So, yeah, but I wanted to tell you all about the album. I want to tell you how long it's been in play, and most recently how I'm bouncing back after a computer crash. It's real life. We grinding out here. That's how I want to bring you all on a journey. Not just when I release the project, but like when the computer goes down, where I can just talk to my people and be like, yeah, I know what? This is some crazy shit. But anyway, with that, I hope y'all have a great evening. Drop a line. And yeah, I'm heading back in the studio, so I just wanted to touch bases with everybody to let you know about the good news tonight. So, all right, everybody. I'm on to my next destination. I appreciate and love you all. And be good to somebody, love somebody, and drop a line. Let me know what you think. Peace.